Welcome. Interim review, part 1. So this is kind of going to review this first day of the Unit 1 stuff. So that whole huge unit of a bunch of craziness and nonsense. Take a look at the 5 problems. I think there's actually 8. There's 3 more on the next slide. Take a look at these 5 problems for me. I really want you to pause this and go ahead and work these problems out. I will work out one of these ones and one on the other slide. But I want you to see if you can get the right answer. I'm going to give you the answers in a second. So we've got a couple different things here. Literal equation, simplifying an expression, tell me what the coefficients and the constants and the terms are, find perimeter, find area, things like that. So go ahead and pause me now, and I'm going to give you the answers in a second, okay? I'm not paused. It looks like I'm paused, but I'm not paused. I do that a lot. I think it's funny. It's not funny. Okay, so go ahead, check those out. Okay, here come the answers. Hopefully you pause me and try them out and everything like that. Let's do this first one together. I want to solve for r, right? So I have to get r by itself, but r's got a square on there. So first thing I need to do is I need to divide by pi on both sides. Okay, now that I've done that, it cancels. So what's left is a over pi equals r squared. So the only way to get rid of a square is to square root it, but I have to square root both sides. So I'm going to square root both sides. That actually ends up being my answer. So r equals the square root of a divided by pi. Okay, so that's my answer. For number 2, you should have gotten, and if you wanted to just leave it in the order that was in, negative 17 plus 13x plus 10x squared. The real format of this should be this, though. 10x squared plus 13x minus 17. Well, either one's right, but just make sure you have it in the right order. Number 3, okay, so they're all terms. 4x is a term, negative 9 is a term, 9x is a term, negative 8 is a term, and 2x to the third, oh, they're all terms. Now, the constants, okay, so constants are just regular numbers. This is a constant, right, so let's just do this. That's a constant, right, because it's just an integer by itself. And the last thing is the coefficient, and the coefficient we'll just underline. Coefficient is just a term in front of the variable. Now, if that was a negative 4x, this would be the coefficient, negative 4. Okay, so it's just terminology that you'll have to know for sure. And we did talk about that in I think the first or second week of school. Number 4, what's the perimeter of a triangle if the sides are 1, 2, and 3? Well, there's 3 sides to a triangle, so you know that you have to add them all up together. The perimeter of the triangle is 19x minus 7. Now, I can't find the value for x because I didn't give you an actual perimeter. Like if I said the perimeter was, I don't know, 50, then you would be able to solve for x, which we won't have to do now. What's the area of a square if a side length is 2x? Well, a square, right, so if you're not really too sure, just draw a square. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. That's not really a square. Wow, that's bad. Let's just say one of those lengths is 2x. I want to know the area, so I have to do length times height, or base times height, or length times width, or whatever. Be careful with the x, though. We've done this a couple of times, right? 2x times 2x is not 4x. And that was even on your first test. The answer is 4x squared, okay, because the x variables have to get multiplied. Okay, good. Next slide, and there's just a couple more we'll do. So hopefully you pause me and you got all those right. If you don't, if you didn't, let me know which ones that you didn't get. All right, go ahead and pause me for these 3, and I'll give you the answers in a second. Okay, hopefully you're back. Number 6, what's the perimeter? So perimeter is when I add up all the sides, right? So the perimeter of this rectangle should be 16x. And again, if you're struggling, geometry is really cool because you can draw a figure. If the length is 5x, so if that length is 5x, that length has to be 5x as well. And this width is 3x, which means that is 3x as well. So 5 and 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus another 3 is 16x. No need to multiply because we're adding. Perimeter is adding everything up. Number 7, this is the patented no solution, all right, because on this side of the equal sign, 5x is being, 9 is being subtracted from 5x. On this side, it's being added to 5x. I will never be able to find a variable for x that works on both sides, so the answer is no solution. Now, number 8, kind of the opposite of this, what does infinite solutions mean? Well, if you want to represent that algebraically, I don't know, I'd have something like 3 equals 3. That's an infinite solution. Basically, any number in the context of the question will work. So if I had 2x equals 2x, that's infinite solutions because x can be anything. If I have y equals y, right? Kind of jumping back to our substitution days. And that's all real numbers or infinite solutions. Okay? Hopefully you got them all right. If you didn't, let me know. And short video, 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Goodbye.